What is up, Soul Fam? It's Chris here with Soldier of Life, and today in this video, we're gonna be talking about motivation and discipline and how they go together to make sweet loving. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Now let me ask you, how many motivational videos have you seen? And how many discipline videos have you seen? I think the issue is that a lot of people these days are subjecting motivation to something positive and discipline to something negative, okay? So if I asked you, what is motivation in your own personal words? A lot of times you'd probably hear that motivation gets you going and that's the videos that you want to hear, but when you hear discipline, it's something negative. So you're talking about like Matilda in her movie, or you're talking about kids getting beat with switches and stuff like that. But really the case is that motivation and discipline are two things that coincide with each other, okay? So case in point, let's say that you've been to a job, okay? And that you've seen people that are motivated and you've seen people that have discipline. Now, more times often than not, the people that are motivated usually come into work happy, they're excited, they always have good feelings, they're optimistic, they have good energy to push out to the world. But a lot of times, the people that are only motivated, they don't get to do a lot of things, or they just don't stick to the plans that they end up talking about or thinking about doing. So what I used to use for this, for motivation, was Facebook. If you go in there, my biggest pet peeve for this motivation one is like when people used to post all those videos or the pictures saying like, oh, would you stab this grandma in the eye for $7 billion. Now, what that's supposed to do is it gets the initial reaction out of you, and then you subject the situation to like, oh man, I'm motivated to get this 7 billion, so I'll slap 25 grandmas in the face, no problem, But that motivation is only a quick response. Now, when you're talking about discipline, it's always viewed in a negative response. So a lot of people aren't attracted to the thought of discipline. But really, discipline and motivation go together when you're talking about levels of success. So case in point, what I usually think of motivation and discipline together, okay? And as a soldier, there was one exercise that we used to do for conditional training, and it's called 30-60s, okay? And what this essentially is when you're on a track, you start to run, or you do laps around the track, and you start to run to do a full-out sprint for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds are done, their whistle is blown, and then you continue to walk for 60 seconds. And you continue to do this as many laps as you can within the time that is allowed or allotted. So when I started to notice that, I started to think that motivation is like the 30-second sprint. So motivation will usually get people going. You need motivation if you have a new product that you want to put out to the world, if you have a job that you want to do, if you have some opportunities that you want to get to. You have to get motivated. You have to have those feelings inside of you. You have to get it going. You have to get moving. So motivation is the drive that gets you started for the things that you want to do. And you have to use that in order to start going down a path. So let's say that you wanted to start up your own business. Okay, you have to be motivated inside of yourself in order to start the business. There's nobody that's ever started a business and wasn't motivated in the beginning in order to get it started and get it going. But the problem is with the discipline portion, that's the 60 seconds that you start to take a brisk jog. It's not walking, but it's kind of boring and you're tired, you're winded. Okay, you've just sprinted as much as you can for 30 seconds, but now you're winded and it's twice as long as the motivation piece. So that's why it's so important. I think this is where they show it in movies. Let's just pick Rocky, for example. Okay, Rocky, they have a lot of different motivational music. There's a lot of times where the feelings are inside of him. And it's a lot of times to where he starts to get motivated. But what they don't really show you, or the path that they skip all the way across, is the discipline that he had in order to train himself, in order to continue to work out his body and push it to limits. That, there's points that everybody gets tired and they don't want to do it anymore and they kind of want to stop. But the discipline portion is what keeps you going through those parts and times. So motivation will get you started, it'll get you going, get you running at a fast pace. But the discipline portion is the part that you need for the longevity, okay? I think personally, that with the motivation piece and the discipline piece, you have time periods where you're running more and where you're walking more. Well, you walk more than you run, but you need the little sprint every now and then you continue to walk with a discipline. And then when things start to get boring, or you need a new challenge yourself, or if you need to get over a hurdle that's really hard to get over, where you just start sprinting, where you just start going. You're like, you know what? Let's get past this now, you know? And that's why it's so fundamental that people understand that discipline and motivation, they go together, okay? It's not one, not having one over the other. One's not more important than the other. They complement each other, okay? You need both of them in order to get started with anything that you're doing. Let's say that you wanted to go to school or study abroad or something like that. You have to get motivated about the idea before you start doing it. But the discipline is gonna keep you around. It's gonna make you say, okay, you know, I hate doing this, but I'm gonna continue to do it. And people don't understand that everybody has discipline every day in their lives. You don't get motivated to brush your teeth in the morning, do you? You know what I'm saying? But you have enough discipline to do it every day, you know, twice a day or maybe more. I hope you do. I really hope you're brushing your teeth. But it's the same thing like with taking showers, okay? I'm not talking about the essentials like eating food and drinking water. This is biological, physical needs that you have to do anyway. But you know that you need to have enough personal hygiene in order to be presentable to the world. So you do these things, you know, you brush your hair, you put on nice clothes, you wash your clothes, you know, to the point when they're not dirty, you know, and these are the discipline things that people don't see. But when we think about it, the word, it's just word association, folks. Okay, discipline is not a bad word. It's just something that is used for the hard times, you know, to get you through the hard times. That's the thing, as soldiers, discipline is number one priority. And the reason is that's what makes us strive to do better things, because we've been taught that you need to strive for greatness no matter what, okay? I know personally, like during the physical training test, people used to ask, what's the minimum? You know, what's the minimum I have to get? I just want to pass. But I was always taught, I don't even care what the minimum is because I'm going to do my best regardless. And that's the discipline that was instilled in me over years, you know, in being enlisted. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you got something out of this video. And like always, I know you're probably subscribed, but if not, hit the subscribe button. Throwing out content daily out the box, you know what I mean? And also, like the video if you got a like, and let me know, like, do you agree with my message of motivation and discipline? If not, let us know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you next time. It's Chris, Soldier of Life. Peace.
So I just left the house and I almost took my new journey to be a digital nomad without taking anything digital. So advice for people that are moving, don't use headphones while you're moving because you're not thinking about anything except what's in the headphones. Yeah, I've hit this train. I haven't been walking around with bags like this since forever, but